What is going on, members of the Shy Guy Squad and MPL fans alike? My name is Dan, also known as Donkin. I am your head coach of the St. Louis Sableyes here in Season 2 of the MPL. Week 4 versus JordieLDR, head coach of the Leeds Rhyhorns. Now, the Leeds Rhyhorns are probably, in my opinion, they are the scariest team in the Green Division, which is, as you guys know, the division I'm in. So this is a divisional battle, and we face Jordie again in week 12, which is the last week of the season. So scooping up this W would be very beneficial for us, as well as the fact that we shoot Jordie down a bit after he had a 6-0 win versus the Manchester High Dragons last week, which was very unfortunate on Pink Tech's part. But the team we brought today, you guys can definitely go back and see, because of course there will be there was a team builder yesterday, which you guys can easily find here on the channel. And Jordie is bringing Arson, Lord, Nova, Nina, Clado, and Goggles, which is Infernape, Gyarados, Manectric, Sylveon, Claydol, and Flygon, respectively. So, without further ado, without me rambling on about gibberish that you guys don't care about, let's just jump into week 4 against JordieLDR. If you are hyped, make sure to destroy that like button down below, as your support is greatly appreciated. Now, this battle was happening yesterday because Jordie had an exam and stuff, but that's cool. And without further ado, I'm going to lead off with Crest here because I felt like it was my best lead against most of his team, since I didn't see a Honchkrow. And the fact that I didn't see a Honchkrow, my god, I was so happy. Oh my god, because Honchkrow would have wrecked my shit in so far back. Like, I want to give a shout out to Maxime Fernape, head coach of the Atlanta Braviaries, who test battled with me, and Honchkrow plus Latias just kind of did a little bit too much against me. I didn't like it. But I'm going to go for Psyshock here because I figured he was going to U-turn. I figured that Flygon will Scarf. It's just kind of something that made sense to me. So I'm just going to go for a Psyshock, and we find out that the Sylveon is leftovers, but I thought it was Specs at this point because I didn't pay attention when I was battling. So I went for another Psyshock, you know, just do the most. And this Claydol, my god, it's fat. Was that like maybe possibly 10%? Nah, it's 8%. I did 7 to 8% with Psyshock against the Claydol. So it's more physically defensive than specially defensive. It's more physically oriented in the defensive side. So he's just going to set up the Stealth Rocks here, as I'm just going to go for an Ice Beam, you know, testing my ground with Crest. And we see that this thing is leftovers as well as the last turn. But so far we've seen Stealth Rocks on the set, and my god, Jesus, the leftovers recovery is going to get old real quick. Oh, come on. So I'm just going to switch out here because I saw no reason to stay in, and I switched into Fortissimo! Ah, you're supposed to be male, goddammit, Blake. Also, shout out to Blake for genning my team, even though he did a couple mistakes, but that's fine. So here, he went for Toxic against my Armaldo, which kind of sucks because it puts my Armaldo on a timer, but you know, it's fine, it's whatever. He's gonna switch out, as I believe I went for a X-Scissor as Nova switches in. So, Jordie switches into Nova here, the Mega Manectric, as I go for an X-Scissor, and my god, the damage! Ah, Armaldo, I love you. If only you would have scooped up that KO, that would have been amazing. Just didn't have to deal with this thing at all. So I go into Satellite because I know for a fact that Satellite can hard wall this Mega Manectric without any form of issue. Now he's gonna go for Mega Evolution because first turn he chooses to go for the or he chooses to stay in and go for an attack, so that means that he has to Mega Evolve because that's the rules. So he's gonna go for a Thunderbolt, and that's gonna do practically nothing to my Crest. Like my Crest didn't even care. It was like, did you do anything? So he's gonna go for a Volt Switch here, switching out into, I believe he switched out into Sylveon. Pretty sure it was Sylveon. Yeah, he switched into Nina the Sylveon. So I'm just gonna go for a Trick Room this turn because I want to start setting up my Trick Room. Now I know that Jordie is a bit experienced with Jordie's a bit experienced with Trick Room because he bought last season the Washington Shedskins head coached by Lax Slime and SV Dragonites, they use Trick Room as well against him with the exact same mon, and Jordie knows how to wait out Trick Room. So I went for a Moonlight here just to get my HP back up, as he goes for a Wish, and we're both gonna get our lefties now, and you can tell I'm faster since my leftovers are going off first. So you know, I outspeed or outslow or however you want to say it, since we're in Trick Room or whatever. But yeah, so I'm gonna get my lefties recoveries first. So I'm gonna go for an Ice Beam. No freeze, which is nice, because freezes always suck. And he's gonna go for a Toxic and put my Cresselia on a timer. My god, spitting poison everywhere. So I'm gonna get my leftovers recovery, and that's gonna take me up to 227. But Toxic's gonna win me back down to 213. So I'm gonna switch out of Satellite right here, and I'm gonna switch into my Magna Zone, my Officer Orgy, because, you know, shout out to the officer, as Jordie's gonna go for another Wish. Now, I wasn't really sure what he was gonna Wish pass into. I was expecting maybe Flygon, because, you know, in case, I mean, that makes no sense. Well, he goes into Claydol, which is the Claydol, so, I mean, that makes sense, I guess. So I'm gonna go for a Flash Cannon here, and that's gonna do some good damage. I kinda wish I was Analytic and not Magnetful, because I feel like it's too obvious that I was gonna bring Magnetful anyways, since he has Ferrothorn. So the Twisted Dimensions are gonna return to normal, and I don't want to risk it because, you know, if he has EQ, I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna go into Ultima here. I'm gonna go into my Kofagrigus, because this thing can like scare Claydol out, as he's gonna go for an EQ, reveal that he has that, and so far we have seen EQ and Stealth Rocks, I think. And he's gonna go for a Toxic on my Kofagrigus, which kinda sucks on my part. Just need to fix something on my ducks. So he's gonna get some leftovers recovery, as I predicted a switch it into Gyarados or something, so I went for Shockwave, and that didn't really work out for me. At least this way, I think, because I was paying attention a little bit outside. But he's gonna switch out from Claydol into Nina again, the fucking Sylveon. So I'm just gonna go for a Will-O-Wisp on this thing, as I believe, I mean, I'm gonna take some toxic damage, then he's going to take some burn damage. So you can tell I'm faster because the thing, like the fact, well, I don't know how that works actually. Huh. Well, he's gonna go for a Wish, so I'm gonna go for a Trick Room. And here I think I made a pretty bad play. I think it was this turn. This was a pretty long battle, so I don't remember all the plays exactly, even though it was happening yesterday. Breaking the fourth wall. But anyways, he's gonna withdraw Nina, try to get HP back on Nova, I think. Yeah, he's gonna switch into Nova here. What did I do? What did I do? I misplayed. Since I misplayed, what did I do? I went for Destiny Bond, hoping that Jordie would take me out with Hyper Voice, but no, instead he went into Mega Manectric, which pissed me off because now this thing has a lot of HP again. And currently, so, like, by the time of this battle, Nova has 5 kills and not a single death, which is garbage for me. So he's gonna switch back in this fucking ribbon trash. And my Kofagrigus is actually going to go down due to the Claydol's toxic damage. So Claydol of all Pokemon, is going to get a kill for taking down my Kofagrigus with toxic. Well, that was my mistake. I should have just attacked, please. But I go into Magnezone here because I felt like it was my best play, and of course it stops Nina completely. So Nina is going to switch out here and go into Nova, as I'm going to click Thunderbolt. Yes, I made a very bold play here because I was expecting Gyarados to come out. And I went for a Thunderbolt, and I get a crit. Easy enough, I got a crit. And that's going to take Nova down. So Nova's reign of unkillableness, I guess, is over. Now he realized that I am Spec, so he's just going to easily switch into the Claydol, as I am going to go into Satellite, my Cresselia, because one Trick Room is down, doesn't mean that both will be. And I figured at this point that the Claydol, it can touch me. I might I was thinking around the point here. I'm thinking that this thing has explosion. So, but anyways, I was doing calcs and explosion only does like 23 to 27% or something. So it practically does nothing. So here, knowing that he was going to switch out because there was no point in staying in because he couldn't do anything to me, he sends out this fucking thing. This Sylveon. So I'm gonna go for an Ice Beam here, just, you know, in case he had Explosion or some shit, I don't know. So he's gonna get some Leftovers recovery, and then he's gonna take burn damage again after I take Toxic. I don't know which. Leftovers recovery definitely happens like that, but let's see. Huh, I guess Toxic just prioritizes? I don't know how that works completely. If you know, tell me in the comment section down below. But he's gonna go for a Wish here again, this fucking Sylveon, I swear to God. It was pissing me off so much. I've only seen Wish and Toxic from this thing, which is like, just stop. Now he's gonna take some good damage from that Side Shock, and then he's gonna take some burn damage after Leftovers recovery and my Toxic damage. Then he's gonna take burn damage. Oh my God! Status plus Leftovers on both sides take forever to go through. But anyways, he's going to go for a Hyper Voice here because there was no reason to try to preserve this Sylveon. As I'm going to go for a Psyshock right here, and that is going to take the Sylveon out. So, currently we're up 5-4, which I was really happy about. At this point, like, we're sitting here, like, I feel like I was in a good position, even though my Cresselia and my Armaldo are both Toxic. So he's going to send out Goggles, the Flygon, and I know he's going to U-turn. I just know he's going to U-turn. There's no point in doing anything else. I'm just going to go into Maria, the Nidoqueen, and he's just going to dip on out of here with the U-turn. So that happened. No, that was nice. And I think he switched into Gyarados here? Gyarados? No, he switched into Claydol. And this is why I regret having Thunderbolt and not Ice Beam, because if I would have had Ice Beam, I could have actually attacked Claydol. Even though I probably would regret it because it has EQ. But I switch into Satellite here, and my God. Oh my God. Just wait for it. 7 HP. He goes for EQ. Leftovers out prioritize Toxic. And, I mean, if he had Explosion, he wouldn't go for it. He would switch out because that would kill him too, and that would be a waste of a Pokemon to take down 7 HP. Now he goes for Rapid Spin, revealing his final move. And I live on 1 HP. Satellite's like, nah, I'm not done quite just yet. Let's go. Let's go, Cresselia. Let's fucking go. So I get like half my HP restored right there, plus Leftovers, minus Toxic. But I lived on 1 HP and got all my HP back up. My God, I was screaming. I was so fucking happy. Like, words cannot describe it, how happy I was. Oh my God. That's what I get for putting max HP. Now I go for the Trick Room here against the Gyarados, figuring it's not a whole lot of that this thing can do to me, and I can get like my Leftovers and all the stuff and things. And in case like it wants to be an offensive Gyarados, not that I see Jordie run that a lot, I can kind of work with it. Even though Medicham is EV to outspeed a X-speed Gyarados. So he's gonna go for a Waterfall here, and that's going to do nothing. So I'm about to make a very questionable play. Because I could just Moonlight it or something. But I switch out and I walk straight into the same trap. I walk straight into the same position that Christian did last week, where he sent in Magneton on Gyarados after a Waterfall, and he went for EQ. So my hat is taken off to you. Jordie. That was a well played. So I send in Fortissimo here. He's about to take 25% from Stealth Rocks, which kinda sucks. As Jordie wants to preserve Lord a little bit longer, Lord the Gyarados. And I'm gonna go for a Rock Blast here, aiming towards it, and Armaldo is not disappointing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So Armaldo throws off 5 Rock Blasts, and it does about 23%, I'd say, like somewhere-ish around that area. And I'm gonna go for, after toxic damage in Trick Room, I'm gonna go for an X-Scissor. And Armaldo has 2 kills under his belt. I'm proud of you, Armaldo. You were supposed to be a defensive wall, but you have 2 kills. You have a 0.5 kill ratio on the weeks that you brought, because I think I brought you every week. Yeah, I brought you every week, and you have 0.5% kill ratio, because, you know, you've died every time. Like now, to Mach Punch from Arson. This fucking monkey, man, this thing needs to die. So, here I go into Siddhartha, which is my Mega Medicham, which by accident is female. So, to all in Buddhism, like if there's any one who follows the Buddhism, Buddhism, I'm sorry that Siddhartha is a female. It's meant to be a male. Goddamn Blake. But I go for Fake Out here against this stupid ape, as it takes like 45% from Fake Out damage. And I switch into Nidoqueen here because I felt like I needed like a switch out, because Fake Out can take Ape Out, as he goes for a Fire Blast. Now I wasn't fully expecting Fire Blast. It was not something I really saw coming, but I could take it, which was nice. And I don't know why I didn't just stay in a Mach Punch, because he would have won that speed tie. But I switched into Goggles here as I go for Thunderbolt, because fucking Gyarados. As he goes for a Dragon Claw with this Flygon and takes my Nidoqueen out, which was a bit unfortunate on my end that I lost Nidoqueen, but you know, it couldn't really do a whole lot more. So here I was figuring out, you know, he could just, I could go for a Fake Out first, you know, try to get some chip damage off, and that does like 35%, as he's gonna go for a Dragon Claw against my Medicham. I know I can live with Dragon Claw from a Jolly Flygon. I don't know how well I would have taken it from Adamant, but I'm assuming that this thing is Jolly. So I go for the Drain Punch. I get a lot of HP back, and it's like to the point where I can live against this monkey, but I don't want to risk it, even though here I was actually talking to myself like, he's gonna go for U-turn, isn't he? He's gonna go for U-turn, and I would have lived U-turn. But I switch into Cresselia and I kind of sack it off, and he gets to go for a U-turn here into his Gyarados. Oh, that's why I didn't. Okay. So Satellite faints here, which is a bit unfortunate on my end that I lose my Crest like that. So it's currently 2-1. He has Ape and Gyara. I have Medicham, and this battle is starting to come to a close. Now, I sent in Mega Medicham here. I don't take any Intimidate because technically Gyarados came in on the last turn because of your turn. I realize that now. And I go for Send Headbutt and I miss. I'm like, why? What's the point? What was the point? He'd already won. My chance was if he flinched. What's the point? So he's just gonna go for an Outrage, and he has revealed his entire Gyarados though with Dragon Dance, Outrage, EQ, and Waterfall. But he goes for Outrage and takes my Mega Medicham out. And unfortunately, your St. Louis Sableyes are now 2-2 with a +1 differential. Yeah, +1 sounds about as correct as we can get. Now, next week we take on the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ipa or Stardasher. I don't know who are going to play, but we need to start picking it up from there, because our 3-0 win against the Wolverhampton Weavils are not starting to matter anymore, because 2-0 loss against Jordie, 1-0 loss against Eric. My Wolverhampton Weavils win has been neutralized. I still have my 1 point from beating Denchby, but that can easily be removed in week 5, or it can be increased in week 5. So, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button down below. Leave some nice comments too. You know, I love reading your comments. I love responding to your comments. And unless I can come up with something sooner or later, I'll see you guys next Thursday for the team builder against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with that, I'm gonna get out of here. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.